why negotiating is important. When you think about compensation, more so when you think about total compensation, what are kind of the four components about total compensation? What are they?
I think it's the base, the
Mhm.
joining bonus, RSU, and there is one more component I forgot.
Sign-on bonus.
Sign on bonus.
Signer joining bonus. That's
Yep.
and I
Base
think
bonus.
if you're moving from one of the public company to another public company, then you can talk how much RS you have in the prior company and then compensate in that fashion also.
Yep. Absolutely. Great answer. Great answer.
I want to say the fourth is benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Vacation policy.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big three. Obviously in the Q&A, Swapna, you got a base, bonus, stock, right? Base salary, bonus, performance bonus, whatever the case is. What does the equity package look like? And, the fourth one obviously can be sign-on bonuses and benefits and, what are the extra kind of quote unquote perks of the offer, right? Like, do they have a work from home stipend? Do they pay your cell phone bill? Is there gym reimbursement, commuter reimbursements, matching 401k, unlimited PTO versus, time you have to accumulate? There's all sorts of things that kind of go into that fourth phase. But for the purposes of what we're talking about today, we're going to focus on the base, the bonus, and the equity portion, right? That's why I mentioned earlier with the highest bonus that we've kind of had, or the highest offer that we've had, it was year over year cash, not including the sign on, right? That's what it was with the base, the annual bonus, and what the equity portion looked like. One other thing to take into mind is, and we'll talk a little bit about this, is, if you're a publicly traded company, your equity is liquid. Basically means once it vests, if you have the opportunity in the trading window, you can sell it, right? If you're in a private company where it's not, then we kind of look at, you typically have a base, a bonus, and you get private equity, and that obviously kind of goes into what I consider to be like total direct compensation, because it's not all cash versus, if you had an offer from like Google or Meta or whatever, that's considered what I would say is total cash compensation, because you can cash it out. You can leave it in there and see what happens, right? But you have the ability to cash out that equity piece, right? So a lot of times I say TCC, total cash compensation. Sometimes I say TDC, which is total direct compensation, more so for some of your private companies. When you look at this slide that I have pulled up here, and this, I want you to take note, this is all Apple, this is all for the same level, and this is all in California. What are some of the key things that you can see by looking at this, that we have such a variety of offers, right? You see 280, 260, then you flip this and you see, 370, 425, 390. What do you think the reason is for that?
Is before a stock grow or after stock grow, or does that play a role here?
Potentially. Keep in mind that this piece of documentation comes from Levels. And so when you send, Levels gathers their data by people actually sending in a copy of their offer letter, right? So, it's typically based on what your initial offer points are. So equity can play a part, obviously, as it flexes up or flexes down. What else?
I think the area matters. I think first one is like machine learning versus backend data and stuff like that.
You could say that, right? But like the ML AI guy's got 260, or the ML AI candidate, employs 260 versus, the biggest offer on here, security, 425.
Maybe good negotiation strategy.
Yes. Aha. Yep. There we go. There's one. Good.
Years of experience.
Good. What else?
Multiple offers.
Yep. Influences the rate. Here we go. So I've heard a few. Definitely heard. One I didn't hear. Relevance of past contributions, i.e., how well did you perform in the interview? They asked you certain questions. How well did you perform? When you're going through IK, what is part of the things that you're doing? Mock interviews, right? You're preparing. You're doing this documentation. You're doing this work, to answer questions, whether you're on a management track, whether you're an individual contributor track. You're always going to get these questions. How well do you perform in the interview, right? What are things that you contributed to your past organization? while you're interviewing at said organization and why it would be relevant to them. See, interview performance as well. Negotiation, leverage, competing offers. We heard that one as well. But there's a lot of things that come into play. One thing that we will go through is we'll spend a little bit of time at levels together as a class. So please keep in mind as we're going through this, we'll kind of look at a lot of things. One thing to note here is, and typically is years at company / years of experience, right? So the 425 individual actually has been at Apple for 3 years with 10 years of experience. So that comes back to a point that was mentioned earlier. Maybe the equity piece went up. Maybe they've had a promotion. Whatever the case is, they went back in and they've updated their total compensation to reflect that. So we always have to look at that first number on years of experience or years at company versus years of experience, right? Because the new offers are going to have 0, right? Because we haven't been at the company, right? So the first offer that's up here is definitely going to be one right here. We definitely earn a seat of one that's ICT 4, 0, 4, and then we'll go down. We see ICT 4 with 0 and 12, another one in data for 0, 4, and then the very bottom one 0 and 6. So take that into consideration as well.
Want to become a software engineer at Google? You can, like thousands of our students. You just need to learn from those who've already cleared FANG interviews. At Interview Kickstart, our interview prep courses are developed and taught live by 150 plus instructors from Tier 1 companies like Google and Facebook. Our courses are tailored to help you crack software engineering domain interviews, including back-end, full stack, machine learning, embedded systems, data science, and more. To learn more, book your 3 webinar slot today